Testosterone by High-Tech Pharmaceuticals is extremely effective. It's often the first prohormone people think of when they want to get their feet wet in the anabolic world. And some people even say it's just as powerful as injectable testosterone. I think you're going to really enjoy this because nobody's covering this. In this video, we're going to share what it is, the benefits, the side effects, when to use it, how to use it, the proper PCT protocol. And at the end, I'm going to share with you a beginner stack that's going to help you take it up a notch.
You are now in the presence of a...
I'm Travis Dillard, and I used to be a fitness coach where I helped 600 people gain a lot of muscle. Been in a few magazines. I even wrote a book back in 2016. But today, I'm not here to sell you anything other than knowledge, because I really wish when I was first starting, someone would have presented this information to me. Oh, and by the way, I am not affiliated with High-Tech Pharmaceutics in any way, shape, or form. I'm just simply here to educate the underserved and forgotten world of prohormones. So let's get it. So what is 1-testosterone? So I'm going to skip over all the molecular jargon because I know you don't care about any of that, and that's not why you're here. Why you are here, put it simply, 1-testosterone is very similar in structure to testosterone. But with 1-testosterone, the molecular structure or the double bond is just in another place. So it doesn't aromatize and it doesn't cause conversion to DHT. So you don't have to worry about hair loss, you don't have to worry about bloat, you don't have to worry about gyno, you don't have to worry about water retention, so you won't need an AI. Now for the benefits and the results you can expect, there are quite a few here. Vascularity, increase in strength, muscle tone is going to go up. You're going to look harder, you're going to look fuller. Your aggression is going to go up. Your sexual appetite is going to go up. Realistically speaking, this is not overhyped. You can expect about 3 to 4 pounds of muscle gain over that 8-week period. But the good news is it's going to look more like 8 because it's a dry compound and you're going to look harder. So when is the best time to use 1-testosterone? So plain and simple, it's going to be best for a cut. The company does say that you can use it for a bulk, and it makes sense because testosterone as a base is very versatile. But start thinking and educating yourself on this stuff. A 19-nor is a wet compound, and that's typically best for bulks. And how long should we be taking this? What does the cycle length look like? The recommended cycle time is about 8 weeks or 2 months. Each bottle has 60 pills, each pill containing 110 milligrams of 1-andro. So you're going to need 2 bottles for one 8-week cycle. If you're thinking about taking just one pill, I would ask why? You're already going to shut yourself down. Why not get the most out of your cycle? And if you're on the other end of the stick and you think more is better and you want to take more than 2, I would also ask why, because the company recommends that you don't. Therefore, don't do it. Also, just a quick note, some have reported during the first month that they've experienced some level of lethargy or fatigue. So it's just something to watch out for. However, side note, pro tip, if you do experience fatigue, I do recommend that you look into pregnenolone. I don't have time to cover it right now, but just trust me on this. If you're finding this content valuable in any way, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button for me, not because I'm trying to grow my channel or market myself in some way. I'm really trying to get this information out there because right now there's one single 1-testosterone YouTube video out there that is 2 minutes long. And quite frankly, it's unacceptable. People like yourself are looking for this information. Let's get it to them. Now, let's get back to it. As for the side effects. So the product uses grapefruit extract as a base. And unless you know you're allergic to grapefruit, you might try the product and you might break out in hives. So obviously, if you do, stop taking the product. Also, if you're on antidepressants, I would be very cautious because some people have reported elevated blood pressure, dizziness, and even heart palpitations. So just be mindful. So since they banned methylated prohormones after passing the Anabolic Steroid Act of 2004, you're not going to have to worry about methylation here. Therefore, you're not going to have to worry about liver toxicity. However, something to watch out for, you are going to be shut down to some capacity, aka your FSH, LSH, aka your brain to ball connection will either be eliminated or limited to some capacity. And note that after you're done with the 8-week cycle, you are going to crash to some degree. And to help ease this process and get our natural testosterone back up to where our levels were before we started, it's important that we at least talk about a PCT here. There are a ton of comments of people saying they don't need a PCT, they recover fine without one, and that's fine. And it's not required. However, why would we not at least be cautious? Because the faster we can recover with any tool we can, the faster we can get into our next cycle. So let's go ahead and dive into the best over-the-counter post-cycle therapy protocol. So I recommend probably the most effective and most widely used natural testosterone booster out there, Tongkat Ali. Now I know this is a little pricey, but it's worth it. It's a very, very quality product. And 1-testosterone is a dry compound, but there are certain cases where some people do experience some estrogen sides. Not a lot of people, but some. Or if you're just looking to overachieve, and I think you should, I would add in a Rimoplex as well. So Rimplex is an estrogen blocker as well as a natural test booster. So that gives you 2 natural test boosters, 1 estrogen blocker in your 4-week recovery period. That's going to help you very quickly. And now you can get back onto your next cycle. As for my thoughts, so I know you don't want to hear this, but I've got to say it anyway. You should probably wait until you gain all the natural muscle that you can. Build a good base before you leap into this. However, I know you're already here and I know you're already looking into this. So rather than waiting 5 to 10 years, which you probably won't at this point, look, you're already here. You're going to make that decision. You've got to make that decision yourself. However, sometimes that does take 10 years to get to our natural gains. So let me instead lay out a realistic scenario for you so that you at least have something to go off of. 3 years. Build up muscle for 3 years. Get a nice base going. And before you touch an anabolic, I really would get to 10 to 12% body fat, because the less body fat you have, the less side effects you're going to be prone to. I realize that 1 testosterone and most of these today prohormones don't have a ton of side effects, but why not set ourselves up for success? Okay, I'm done. That's all I needed to say. I said my piece. That's my recommendation. You do what you will with that. Okay, as promised, let's dive into that starter stack. But first, if you want to see a video like this for every single prohormone on the market that exists today, no fluff, no BS, all application, all breakdown, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and join me along for this wild and crazy ride. We're going to get this information out there to people. Appreciate your help. So if you're looking to take it up a notch and you want to add in an additional compound so you can create your own stack, I recommend Decabolin, which is a 19-nor or a precursor to Deca. This is going to add an additional 2 to 3 pounds of lean muscle mass during your 8-week cycle. An important note here is that you always want to have testosterone as a base. So whether you choose 1 testosterone or 1 AD, which I will do in a completely separate video on here later on, but that's going to be a little lighter testosterone base than a 1 testosterone. But just like in the bodybuilding world or the steroid world, the same concepts still apply. So guys, my goal with these videos is very simple, and that's just simply to educate and inform so that you can make the best decision possible. Next week, I'm going to be covering Sustanon 250, the prohormone, not the steroid. And I'm sorry, I gotta say this. Why on earth, High-Tech Pharmaceuticals, did you name the prohormone the same name as an existing steroid? So when I type into YouTube Sustanon 250, I just see Sustanon 250, the steroid. This is part of the problem and the reason why people are having so many problems getting information on these subjects. Okay, I'm done, rant over. I'll see you next week. I really appreciate you being here. Until then, stay safe and stay swole, my brothers.